to you from my back porch for the Discovery Center Stay at Home Art Series. This is funded by the Tennessee Arts Commission Arts Builds Communities grant. I hope that you will join me as I share some ideas for making art with recycled materials. We'll be building a dream house and other fun things. Stay happy and healthy. See you soon. Hey, Abby here, coming from my back porch. I'm doing some art lessons for the Discovery at Home series. The first lesson that we did last time was designing our dream house, and that was just drawing on paper. So I had drawn the exterior of my house, and then I drew the interior of my house. And we talked about the designing and the planning and the building. Well, that makes you an architect. So today we're actually going to start constructing our dream house. So I've gathered some supplies together. The first things I needed were my boxes that are going to be the 2 floors of my house. Now, if you can see when I turn them around, these boxes aren't exactly the same size, but they're going to work for what I need today. Some of the other things I gathered together, I still have my ruler, my pencil, scissors, glue and tape, and a hot glue gun. Now this can also come in handy for cutting cardboard. This is actually a pumpkin knife. It's got a serrated edge. Now of course you have to be very careful when you're using any scissors or knives or hot glue. So make sure you have an adult with you when you're working. A couple other things I've gotten together, these are binder clips and a clothespin. This can be helpful when we're gluing. It can help us hold these things together until they dry. Before I start actually sticking this together, I'd like to go over a few techniques on how to build with cardboard. So we can go over some terms. Here I have, this is just a toilet paper tube, and what I've done is I've made, this is called a flange. So I have just gone around the bottom edge and cut some slits with my scissors. This kind of cardboard is very easy to cut. That way, it becomes more stable if I want to glue it down because I can put glue on every one of these tabs. So this is called a flange. Another technique that you can do with cardboard is making slots. So if you just have a small piece of cardboard and I'm going to cut, but I stopped before getting to the very end. I did not go all the way through. And I did the same on this piece. Now I can slide these 2 pieces together and I have a sturdy shape here with which I can build. Another thing you can do for more support is called making a brace. So I took some pieces of cardboard that I'm going to use for my roof up here. Now, how am I going to get this to stick? This could be tricky. So I have made a brace. It's just a piece of cardboard where I can put glue on both of these sides, and when I put it in, it's going to be secure. This brace is going to hold it, just like that. Now let's talk about cardboard for a minute too. Cardboard boxes are actually called corrugated cardboard, and they're quite thick and can be a little tricky to cut with your regular scissors, so you're going to want some help with that. This kind of cardboard, this came from like a candy box or a cereal box, and this is called paperboard, and this is much easier to cut with your scissors. So maybe when it comes time for you to put some dividing walls inside, you could do that with your paperboard. So the first thing I'd like to do here, I've got my glue gun and it's been warming up. Now remember, we never want to touch the tip. This is very hot. And I also do not want to drip any glue on my fingers. In fact, you could wear an oven glove if you were afraid of getting glue on your fingers because it is very, very hot. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on here and here and get the floors of my house stuck together. Okay, we have to work quickly with the hot glue because it dries. I'm going to press down a little bit. And this should dry fairly quickly. Perfect. Now, I know that I would like to have 4 rooms. So I'm going to divide the top floor and the bottom floor with a wall. So I picked out some corrugated cardboard, and with my ruler, I had to measure how tall and how deep I needed to cut a piece of cardboard. I know that I would also like to be able to have little people or animals in my house that can walk through. So I went ahead with my ruler and drew a door on here. It's going to be much easier for me to cut the door now before I glue the wall in place. So I'm going to go ahead and I drew it on here with my pencil, and I'm going to cut out my door. Like this. Now, to get my wall in here, while I did measure the height and the depth, I'm also going to need to brace this in place. So I've cut my brace here. I'm going to glue onto my wall, and then I'm going to glue onto the ceiling and here. Got to get another glue stick. So I'm just putting the glue on here for my brace. Let me hold that for a second. And I'm going to put the glue on this top part, and this will go onto the ceiling. Okay. Looks like I might need to trim that a little bit. So let's see. Actually, I may have just swapped my floors. They're not the same height. Okay, I'm just going to slide this one into the bottom. The hot glue still gives me a minute to change that. So I'll now cut the door out of this top piece. Okay, there's my door. Let me make sure this one fits. Yep, perfect. And I've got my brace. So I'm going to put my brace, put the glue on the wall, and the glue that's going to go into the ceiling. Excellent. Okay, so now you can see my house is coming together. Another thing that we had talked about last time was that I really wanted to have turrets on my house. So I found some paper towel tubes to use as my turrets. I'm not going to attach these now because I know that I'm going to want to wrap them in some kind of decorative paper. I just wanted to gather it together so we can get an idea of what this is going to look like. But the next time we get together, we'll talk about how to decorate the outside of your house. So the last thing that I wanted to attach was my roof. And you can see the first thing I did is I have 2 pieces of cardboard that I have attached with masking tape. Now I'm going to do the same thing I did for the walls, which is to have a little brace in there to hold this roof onto the house. So again, I'm just putting some hot glue, attach it here. I'm going to hold it for a second. Okay, one side's done. Here's another piece of cardboard to use, or a brace. Make sure that's going to work. Okay, so it looks like I've got the framework for my house together. Next time we get together, whoops, gotta hold this for another second. Next time we get together, I'd like for us to start building some furniture, talking about decorating. So if you have things like wrapping paper, scrapbook paper, pieces, things that could be used like wallpaper inside your house, or I have found things like cap to a bottle of lemonade. This came from an orange juice can. small cardboard box from some coffee. These things could maybe be turned into a bed. If you have an egg carton, sure, we could cut this up to be chairs, maybe dining room chairs. So remember, use your imagination when you're looking around your house for items that we can start building with. So thanks again for joining me today. Stay happy and healthy, and I'll see you next time.